Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would have not died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise." Martha said to him, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord, I have come to believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world." Good morning. Welcome to a short biblical reflection on the Gospel according to John, chapter 1, verses 1 up to 45. It is the story of the Rising of Lazarus, Gospel reading for the Fifth Sunday of Lent, year A. This Gospel reading is very long, doesn't fit on one screen. At the beginning I just read selected verses. I will not read it entirely. Let's begin just with the negative aspect, because when some people read the scripture, they tend to focus on secondary elements, forgetting about the primary meaning of the particular story. For example, some will read as I put in red colors, for example in verse 6. So when he heard that he was ill, he remained for 2 days in the place where he was. Then the place where it was is specified in verse 17. When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away. So some people will wonder why Jesus, since he was so close, he didn't go to heal him. Let's wait and read on the following page. So they would be similar to some Jews who question, could not the one who opened the eyes of the blind man have done something so that this man would not have died? And why is this illness and why Jesus was waiting is specified already in verse 4 when Jesus says, "This illness is not to end in death, but is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it." Similarly, the divine purpose was stated at the beginning of the story concerning a blind man who was healed by Jesus, and we read it last Sunday, chapter 9 of the Gospel according to John. Neither this man nor his parents sinned. He was born blind so that God's works might be revealed in him. When we read the miracle stories in the Gospel according to John, which are called as signs, we have to keep in mind the conclusion of the Gospel at the end of the chapter 20, from verse 30. Let me quote it. "Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples that are not written in this book. But these are written that you may come to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that through this belief you may have life in his name." Of course, Martha, and later on similarly states Mary, she is complaining that Jesus was absent. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would have not died." However, she believes strongly in the resurrection, as she says, "I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." However, she was not expecting that Jesus would bring back Lazarus to life at this moment. In the conclusion of the story, the stress is on bringing people to believe. So therefore Jesus says, "Father, I thank you for you have heard me. I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd here, I have said this, that they may believe that you sent me." And then the verse which is not included in the lectionary but is following it is quite often treated as opening the next story. However, it is related to this one. I just added it here. "Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and had seen what Jesus did, believed in him." So the whole story, as well as the previous story and other stories, as I said previously, lead people to faith. I would like to wish you a nice day and fruitful reflection on this gospel reading. God bless you.